Good morning, everybody, and a happy Tuesday morning to you. Well, there's really just one story here. It goes through, but there's really just one story, and that's the fact that Meghan, I believe, tried to bully Catherine. She didn't like being behind Catherine. It was the pecking order that bothered her. And we're going to take a quick look at that in this video. So let's just jump in and cover it, shall we? Let's go. Really quickly, we're going to start with this. Do you guys remember seeing this picture? And this picture, it's Meghan with the kids and they're, coloring or whatever the heck they're doing. Well, somebody put up the actual picture without it being cropped. How stupid can you get? There's the guy on the left. He's taking pictures and taping. That is not a camera, like a camera. He's filming. So she brought people to film again for Archwell. You'll see this again at their end of the year promo where it shows her going out and doing good. All right, let's move into our first story for the day. Well, one of the articles that's coming out now is saying that one of the reasons why Meghan left the royal family was because she was forced to walk behind Catherine, who was then the Duchess of Cambridge, and she realized that she was nothing more than a public servant, not a celebrity. And so she was like, you know what? Nah, I'm out of here. What's being said is she felt like her, quote, wings were clipped. She didn't like it. And so she decided she wanted out. Now, a lot of people are also saying that Meghan really could have been a big credit to the royal family because she was such an independent woman. She had her own career, her own thoughts. They gave her really good charities. She could have been exactly what the monarchy needed. But no, she didn't like being, playing second fiddle. She didn't like the pecking order. The article claims that Meghan has and I'm quoting, a deep, insidious hate for Princess Catherine. That is what keeps her away. Catherine outranked Meghan in the royal hierarchy. So currently, she would have to curtsy to Catherine if William was next to her. For spouses that are not of royal blood, their rank is through their husband. Okay, so Catherine would rank, because she's married to William, way higher than Harry. And William is the highest ranking British royal behind King Charles and Queen Camilla. We've seen this behavior in church. They were lining up and Meghan gets behind Catherine and she's giving Catherine behind her back these sly little looks because she realizes that Catherine's in front of me. And then some other guy cut in. There was another time before, I believe this was before they were married, but Catherine was pregnant with Louis and they go into the church. And when they come out of the church, Meghan is eyeing her up. She's side-eyeing her as Catherine is saying goodbye to people outside of the church. Let me give you some really fast video examples of what was going on. Remember when the Fab Four first appeared before the wedding in 2018 and they went on the stage? Well, the first thing is Meghan tried to grab Catherine as Catherine was going through the curtain. Here it is again in slow motion, just so you can see it. Look at her hand. She literally tried to grab her. Then Catherine's on the stage talking, and this is when Meghan decides to flip her hair at her while grinning like a cat. And then she decides she must get off the stage before Catherine. And she made a fool of herself trying to rush off. It didn't matter where they were, what they were doing, what was happening. Meghan was constantly staring at her. I believe it was 3 weeks after Louis was born, because it was Louis she was pregnant with. They all went to church again without Catherine, who was on maternity leave. And even then, Harry and Meghan had to walk behind William into the church, greeting people, and then had to walk behind them to their seats. I remember this because William was literally trying to stay awake because the new baby was keeping them up at night and he was falling asleep in his seat. That's why I remember this event. Let's not forget Trooping the Color. After supposedly Archie was born, Meghan wasn't supposed to be there, but she showed up at the last minute. And I firmly believe she did that because she didn't want Catherine to have the limelight. It didn't matter where they were or what they were doing. Meghan could not stop glaring at Catherine. I think the biggest event of all that really took it home for Harry, not for Meghan, but for Harry was when they came back for their last event. The programs were printed and they realized they weren't going to be in the procession with the royal family. Harry had an absolute fit, and so to quell things, William decided he wouldn't be in the procession either. The entire time, Harry had a face of thunder. He was so angry because I think it finally dawned on him what Meghan had done. Meghan didn't want to walk behind other people. She wanted to be in the front. This was their last royal event. So as they were leaving, what did they do? They pushed through the chairs to get behind William and Catherine because they weren't as hell going to walk behind Sophie and Edward. That was going to be like the final coup de grace for Meghan. I guarantee you the idea to push between those seats and walk out in front of Sophie and Edward was Meghan Markle's, I guarantee you. And what happened the last time Meghan was in the UK? Well, you had the Queen's funeral. And what happened? She ended up behind Catherine. What happened at the church? Royal family on the right, and on the left in the front, Meghan and Harry all the way to the left, second row back. Most of Meghan was hidden behind a candle. We all remember that. She was behind everybody. She followed the pecking order for once. Even when they were doing the walkabouts, to look at the flowers, Meghan and Harry trailed behind William and Catherine, and Meghan made sure to not get too close because don't forget, this wasn't long after she made those unfounded allegations, and we remember this was the one time that I ever saw Catherine be angry and assert herself. Let me show that again to you. She stared Meghan down, stepped forward, and Meghan broke eye contact, stepped back, and was obviously very nervous. Can't really blame Catherine at this point. So the main point is, guys, Meghan wanted to be the star of the show. And when she realized that she was never going to be above Catherine, that's when she was like, okay, I'm out of here. But there's a side caveat to that. Meghan's children will never work for the royal family. And it's very obvious that William and Catherine have not spoken about Harry or Meghan to their 3 children. I doubt that George, Charlotte, and Louis even remember Harry at this point. And if Meghan honestly thinks that she would like to introduce the cousins, this picture right here gets me. Here they are in the back of a car, no seatbelt. The car is obviously moving, and her child is holding an American flag because he's an American citizen. She's made that very clear. But for some reason, she's willing to allow the children to meet in the hopes that when the kids get older, if they decide they want a royal role, that somehow William and Catherine will allow that. Let me tell you right now, that will never happen. We've discussed before that the royal family is icing them out, and here you go. The Christmas dinner at Sandringham House, they've always previously had an open invitation for Harry and Meghan. They will not be welcome. They're not welcome. William, Catherine, and their children will be there. It's a time for family. The whole family will be there, even Andrew. But I guarantee you that these 2 will not receive an invitation. And why should they? Every time they were given an invitation in the past, they snubbed it. They snubbed it from the Queen, and they've snubbed it from Charles. So if Harry suddenly wants to spend more time with his family, but I don't think the family wants to spend more time with Harry. So with Harry and Meghan's act, we're salt and pepper, we move together, is now falling apart because they're doing things on their own. They haven't been seen together in public in quite some time because I think their marriage is in trouble. I wonder if the royal family isn't bracing for the inevitable divorce. Harry has to know that since he admitted in public to drug abuse and mental health issues, if he tries to fight for custody, he's gonna lose. How could he be so stupid? All right, you guys, you know what to do. Put your comments down, hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. I doubt you'll get them. And then into the description box, you'll find the link to video number 2. Follow me over. You're not going to want to miss this. Let's go.